So you got to grind it, and you got to stay with what you're doing. It's hard because we're a team of runs and excitement, and there just wasn't much of that. We'd come down, and they'd walk it up and really try to hold the ball. I think once we continue to get those stops defensively, really get it going and push it, got some of the rust off early, then we got into a rhythm, and then we got the game to be our game. And then, when you get a 15-point lead on a team like that, that's almost like 25. So I think we just kept pushing to try to wear them down.
Given that Russ, you were talking about their gym, was that slow tempo that Salle was playing, at least early on, was it somewhat beneficial for you guys?
No, I thought it hurt us, to be honest. I thought it was like, we are a rhythm team. We're trying to play in that rhythm and tempo and get it going. So it was like we go and then stop, go and stop, and that wasn't good for us. I thought that was going to linger. I think that's why it was ugly there for a while. My whole thing about practice the other day and even yesterday was to run more, to get out and go, to get our bodies moving. And I knew this tempo was going to be awkward and feel awkward for our guys, and it did. And again, that's why I didn't play a lot of guys because no one was tired. It was on either team, so it was kind of a tough flow to get into.
Coach, you look at the overall big picture. I mean, so how big was it to have the crowd come out and support you tonight after everything you all went through this weekend?
Yeah, no, I think it was great. The idea on campus here to have a whiteout in regards to the snow, I thought it was great. That's why I went out and got my white jacket here to support the students. But I thought it was good, and I think that's important. I think, not only because of the ordeal we went through, this is a good basketball team. We're playing good basketball. I mean, I don't know how many teams in the league could start out, 0-3 in the Atlantic 10 and bounce back and be 500 this quickly. So I got to give these guys a lot of credit.
And I know your team has been battling through injury issues. Because I know you lost a player a couple weeks ago for the season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, our captain, one of our best players, Jeremiah Jones, is done for the year with an ACL injury. It was devastating for us. It took us a while to figure ourselves out since he's been gone, but I think we're starting to get better at it.
Like I said, they were kind of missing their legs early in the first half. Were you curious to see what the energy level would be like coming out?
No doubt. I didn't sleep much last night because we didn't have a very good practice yesterday. I didn't think it was as sharp as we normally practice. But we weren't going to allow it to be an excuse. As a coach, I wasn't going to allow them to use that as an excuse. We had to push them and keep pushing and keep pushing. Hopefully now we're back. We're going to take the day off tomorrow, a full day off, and then hopefully get back in our groove. Yeah, you can definitely sense it yesterday. It was just different, which again, we've never dealt like this before. There's no experience, that you can fall back on and say, okay, this is what you do. So we just try to get back to normalcy as quickly as possible.
For that reason, is it fortunate then to run into a team that runs a very short bench and doesn't push you that way?
I mean, I don't know. Okay. I really don't. I mean, again, we still wanted to get the game to our tempo. We didn't want to play slow. So I really don't know.
Given some of those concerns about their tempo and your guys' legs, when in the game did you kind of feel like, okay, things are going to be all right? Your guys aren't going to be. Well,
to be honest, I thought to score 36 points, is that what we had at half? Yeah, scored 32 points at half in a slow-down game like that. That's pretty good. And we didn't shoot great. So I kind of felt like, okay, now we come out, we settle in, we've seen it for a first half. The guys have seen it. Now we'll get ourselves in a rhythm and we'll go. And that's exactly what happened is what I thought could happen. Now you still got to make the shots to make it happen. But it's kind of how I felt. And then watching their tapes, I kind of knew that this is how it was going to play out. I thought as a coaching staff we needed to keep our poise as the game was getting itself figured out because it was going to be close because there just wasn't that many possessions.
But you had a stretch from about 8 minutes left in regulation to about 2.5 minutes left where 11 straight shots hit. And I know a couple of those were 3 balls from Rene Castro. I mean, how big is that as a confidence booster for the Dukes?
For Rene?
Or for the team as a whole? I mean,
well, no, we play like that. I mean, we're averaging close to 80 points a game, so we're an up-tempo team. I actually felt it was good for Rene that he came in aggressively because Rene's been struggling a little bit this year. For him to make a couple of shots, that was important. And that's what I was talking about in regards to tempo and spurts. Like when we play the way we want to play and we get stops, we can attack you with speed and play in spurts, and we have the shooting ability to put up points pretty quickly. And I think that played out in that stretch.
Now, looking ahead, you have your return match in St. Louis with the Billikens. I mean, you had the 81-71 win the last time when they were here at Palumbo, so, I mean, what's the mentality heading into that game since you've already played them?
It's going to be different. I mean, we got up 33 points. I don't know if you were at that game.
I was not.
We got up 33 points on them and wound up finishing the game up 10. And since then, they've completely changed. They're playing an up-tempo style now. They've been scoring 90 points every time I watch TV or watch a tape, and they changed up, and they're playing really fast and aggressively and small full guard. So it's almost like we scrapped that last game. We scrapped that last scouting report, and it's almost like playing a different team now. It's going to be challenging. It's always challenging to win at St. Louis.
Rebounding, what allowed Eric to do what he was able to do tonight? He was a very key aspect.
Yeah, he was aggressive. He did a great job. You know, what was good, they weren't sending a ton of guys to the offensive glass because there was only 5. They didn't want to foul. And I thought Eric did a fantastic job on Price. Was one of the best players in the league with his length and his quickness, and then his just really aggressively attacking the offensive glass and rebounding for us defensively. I thought a big key for our success was the way he played tonight.